I met a gypsy.
So, but like with a foam pit, man, if the bike comes down on you in the foamy, you're going to be getting pumped.
Yeah, well, the thing is with a foam pit, man, they're literally death traps. Like, that's what it feels like. Foam pits are gnarly. The problem is with the foam pits, there's risk of fire.
Yeah.
So whenever...
And you can't get out quick.
Yeah.
Foam goes up quick and you can't get out.
Well, foam pits are like quicksand. Have you, like,
Yeah.
I've never been in quicksand, but when you walk through the foam pit, like you literally need to, like, you know when you're trying this, they're really hard to get around because you're just over waist.
It's like being, it is like quicksand.
You're over waist deep nearly in the foam when you're walking through them, and you have to lift your feet up over your waist every time just to get like a step forward. So when you land on your head with a 120 kilo bike, and you're usually like doing a flip or whatever, you're going pretty high, roughly 8 meters high. Like when guys are trying to work on double flips, you do 1.5 flips and it happens all the time. People like you land on your head.
That sounds shit.
And then so just picture it for a second. You've just landed on this foam pit. So you've landed in the foam pit on your head. The 120 kilo bike drives you down to the bottom of the foam pit. Most of the time, every time I've been trapped in there, I've had the fuel drip on you because the petrol tank's directly above you and you feel the petrol dripping on you. And then your exhaust pipe. So before we jump, we have heat wrap on our exhaust pipes and water. So we cool down the exhaust. We turn off the bike, cool it down, and then make sure the exhaust pipe has no heat in it. And then we would literally start it and just go right at the lip, do the jump, and then bike stalls when it lands in the pit majority of the time. Sometimes the throttle gets stuck on and goes brrr. But but with the toxic fumes in there, it's against, like, the foam's against the exhaust pipe. You're trapped, petrol's dripping on you, and in this, like with your helmet where there's a little air pocket where you can breathe, but this is like pitch black, jammed in the most awkward position you could possibly think of. And 1 minute of being trapped in a foam pit is like 15 minutes. Like 1 minute feels like 15 minutes. And then, so if you're in there for 2 minutes, that's like half an hour. If you're in there for like 5 minutes, it feels like you're down there for an hour. But just because you can barely breathe and you're trying to...
You're like claustrophobic.
And if you're claustrophobic and you panic and you're like... Because you usually your strength, you're like trying to move around to try and get out, and you're like, there's just no hope. So you just got to go into calm mode and go... Just try and get that air, but then when the exhaust pipe's doing toxic fumes on the, like when the foam's burning on the exhaust pipe, it smokes, and you get those toxic fumes in there. So sometimes it can get pretty scary.
Have you ever seen people have like freakouts in there?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because you just like, but then when they land, sometimes we've had times where, like, I remember we were digging out Brad Birch not that long ago off the moon booter, and we were standing on him, digging in front of us, trying to find him. So we got the crane as soon as he landed, because we obviously, when you're trying a trick where you think you're going to land on your head, we'll try and have a good squad of team there to just ready to just dig you out. And he'd landed in the pit, and then we got the crane straight to him, got the bike out, and we're digging, and we're standing on where he is, and we're digging right in front of us where we thought he was. So, and then when we got low enough, where he's like, help, and then we like dug in sideways, and he like came out, where we were standing.
No shit.
So, it's pretty gnarly, but that's why airbags are so good, man. You
just can't get caught.
Yeah, which, as I said, you can sort of get hurt a little bit if you land on your head, but it minimizes fire and get it. The claustrophobic.